Hi class, today we're looking at understanding slope. So you can use slope to describe the steepness of an incline or hill. The steepness of a ramp is the ratio of the vertical change in the horizontal change. In math, slope is a number that describes the steepness of a line. Let's fill that in. Slope is the number that describes the steepness of a line. You can also use slope to describe rate of change. Of a quantity. So we find the slope by taking the vertical change and dividing it by the horizontal, or putting it over the horizontal change. And this is referred to as rise over run. You'll hear me say that a lot. Rise over run. Okay. So slope describes steepness of lines in the coordinate plane. You can find the slope of a line by subtracting the coordinates of 2 points on the line. So when I said the vertical change, that is, the vertical is y. So this is the y coordinates over the x coordinates. So slope let's go change in y over the change in x. So if we are looking at these lines over here, and remember, rise over run, there's two things. This could be either a positive slope or a negative slope. So how this is going up, that is considered a positive slope. It's increasing, so it's becoming more of a positive number, positive slope. And if it goes down, so it starts over here and it's decreasing, it is considered a negative slope. Okay? Positive and negative slopes. So now we have this chart or this graph, and it shows the points. A is 2 and 1, so x is 2, y is 1. And then another point is 5, negative 3. X is 5, y is negative 3. So to do the slope, right, this is our main equation for slope. We want to take x and y. So, oops, this is x, this is y. And we want the change in y on top. So we're going to go negative 3 minus 1 over 5 minus 2. And so negative 3 minus 1 equals negative 4 over 5 minus 2 over 3. So therefore the slope equals negative 4 over 3. And just to be clear, it doesn't necessarily, it could be over 4 down 3. So if we're looking at it as rise over run, we're saying that if we're looking here, it's going down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So -4 over 3. 1, 2, 3. But it could also be that you're going up 4. So if we were doing up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, back 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so either way works because it's just going to go up higher or down lower. Okay, so this second one, x, x, y, y. Y is on top. So we're going to go 2 minus 4 over, and always do, so I started with this one, so I want to start with that one on both. So see, the 2 is the first number, so that means the -3 needs to be the first number. So over -3 subtract 2. 2 subtract 4 equals -2. And -3 minus 2 more is -5. So since they are both negative, they cancel each other out. So those turn into a positive, so it equals 2/5. Rise goes up 2, run over 5. So here we are on this first point, up 2 over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's that next point. Rise over run. Okay, so go ahead and try B on your own. Try to find out what is the slope of B. Press pause, come back to me when you're done. Okay, so you should have come up with -1/2. So really when I subtracted them out, I got 2 over -4, and that could be reduced. They both could be divided by 2, so therefore it equals 1/2. Negative, I moved the negative up top just because it feels cleaner to me, but like I said, it could be written -1/2 with the negative right even with it. It doesn't really matter, but so it goes down 1 over 1, over 2. Rise over run. Rises goes down 1, run goes over +2. So see how it just connects the lines right here. Very good. So slopes of horizontal and vertical lines. So find the slope of each line. State whether the slope is 0 or undefined. So when you see that they are straight lines running either along if it's either horizontal or if it's vertical, when you subtract them out, this one is 0 over 5, 2 minus 2, and then 3 minus a positive or minus a -2 would equal 0 over 5. So that equals 0. So the slope of a horizontal line is 0. So think of the horizon runs where the sun sets. That's called the horizon. So it runs horizontal this way. Vertical, think about standing vertical, standing straight up and down. So when the 0, so when you take these 2 points, it equals 3 over 0. If the 0's on the bottom, the division by 0 is undefined. So the slope of the vertical line is undefined. So if the 0's on top, it equals 0. If the 0's on the bottom, it's undefined. But so basically always when the line's running vertical, it's going to be undefined. So find the slope of a line through the points 3, 1, and 3, -2. So we're going to do the y's on top. -2 minus 1 over 3 minus 3. So -2 minus 1, -3 over 0. So we said if 0 is on the bottom, it is undefined. Oops, it would help if I spelt it right. Okay. So now we're going to look at finding the slope from a table. So when you graph some data, all the points lie on a line. For such data, you can find slope or the rate of change using a table. So the rate of change equals the slope, so the change in y and the change in x. So what we can do is we can choose 2 points on this line and do the same thing that we've been doing. So if we took this first point, x is going to equal 80, y equals 4. And then if we take the next point, x is going to equal 120, and y is going to equal 6. So if we want to subtract those, we have 6 minus 4 over 120 minus 80. And that's going to equal 2 over 40, which could be reduced to 1 over 20. So your slope is 1 over 20. You also could look at the chart, okay? So here's this line. The rise goes up once, and 4 to 6 is 2. So we can think that that's 2, and then it goes over 2. Well, each of these are worth 20, so that means it's over 40. Reduce it, 1 over 20. You get the same thing. Okay. So we also can graph the data in a table and connect the points with a line. Then they want us to find the slope. So if you want a challenge, go ahead and try this on your own. Press pause. Come back to me when you're done. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just graph them. So the first one, x is -1, y is 2. So we go over -1 up 2. That's our first point. The next one is 0, 0, right in the center. Y is 1, x is 1, y is -2. And x is 2, y is -4. And then we want to go ahead and connect those. Okay. So that was graphing the data. We connected the points with a line, and now we're going to find the slope. So you can really kind of look at it to be able to say, okay, well, here we are, the rise. Is it a positive rise or is it a negative? It's negative, right? It's going down. So if we took from this point here and we said rise over run, rise, it's going down 1, 2. Here we are, this one, and over 1. So it's going down -2 over 1. That's going to be our slope. Let's double check ourselves by using the points. So if we took these 2 points here, let's do this one and this one, and we subtracted, so we have 0, subtract 2 over 0, subtract 1. -1, subtract -1. So that's going to be -2, and when you subtract a negative, that turns into a positive. -2 over 1. That is what we got as our answer. Okay, so your homework is going to be page 119 and 120, numbers 1 through 11 odd. Happy homeworking!